At the end of our last devotion, we had discussed about peace across international borders. I had used King Solomon as an example here, and I said, King Solomon at the beginning of his reign allowed the peace of God to really minister to him and to his nation, that so much so that the countries around him that had a history of war were no longer at war, and they lived in peace with one another. What I want us to take away from this is that there's power in the peace of God more than we sometimes realize. And God has created the entire world. Everything within the world, his creation, is here. So he really does want us to live in peace with one another, as we saw in Genesis chapter 1 and 2. So if we as the people of God get together and pray for our nation and pray for our cities, our communities, pray for the world, pray for government leaders, pray for those in power, positions of power, I believe that God can minister to them and use us as vessels to stand in the gap and to intercede for our people so that the peace of God really can be experienced. I want to speak of another example in the Bible where a king used the peace of God in his ministry, and that's King Hezekiah. King Hezekiah in chapter 18 is described in verse 3 and verse 5 as such, and I'm going to read for you. He did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, just as his father David had done. Hezekiah trusted in the Lord, the God of Israel. There is no one like him among all the kings of Judah, either before him or after him. Although King Hezekiah's reign was plagued with war and he faced a lot of war, his rulership didn't allow for Jerusalem to be under siege, and they actually lived in peace. When we allow the peace of God to enter into us, it starts to affect every aspect of our lives. Even if you are plagued with tribulation, and even if there are situations around you that try to disrupt your peace or disturb your peace, because we serve a God of peace and he is with us, and because his peace is wholly sanctifying us, and because he is revealed to us as the God of peace, they cannot take away the peace from your life. It will always be with you. It'll always be that underlying, rooted knowing that the peace of God is with you. I pray that today and throughout this week, you really let the peace of God minister to you, and you really let the peace of God take control of your workplace environment, of your school, of your home, and allow his peace, allow shalom to come dwell in your house. God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow.